Our final mixed bag review, pair of questions, fully factorised. We've got a nice quadratic trinomial here and a slightly less nice, a non-monic. What does that mean? It means there's a number in front of the x squared. We're going to be able to factorise both of these though without too many problems. So the first step is we've got to try and remember our rule. Now our rule tells us that we need to find the product, two numbers that have a product, equal to whatever a times c is. Now you're asking what's a and c? They come from the generic quadratic trinomial ax squared plus bx plus c, and you'll see the factors of a multiplied by the factors of c together give me a product. So the product of a and c in this case is 8, because I have 1x squared for a, c is 8, 1 times 8 is 8. The sum of the two numbers I am looking for needs to equal b, the value of b, the coefficient of the x term. What's the coefficient of the x term? 9. And pretty easily you will see, well, if I go 1 times 8, that's going to give me 8, and 1 plus 8, that's going to give me 9. So the numbers that I'm looking for are 1 and 8. These nice monic ones, we just go ahead and write those numbers in the brackets. X plus 1, x plus 8, and we are done. If you check it by expansion, x by x is x squared, x times 8 is 8x. I'm going to add another 1x, so 8x plus 1x is 9x. And finally, 1 times 8 is 8. That one's not too bad. There are a number of ways of doing the non-monic quadratic factorizing. Hopefully you are comfortable with one. Ideally, what I would like eventually is for all of you to be able to just say, okay, this symbol there, if it's a plus sign, means the symbols in each bracket are going to be the same. In this case, that being positive tells me they're going to be positive. So I need factors of 6 that multiply by factors of 2, and when I add the pairs of products, they will add to 7. A little bit confusing. It's not the way many of you have done it, but I just want to put this in. This is the way you will eventually do it. 6 is made up of 6x squared, can be made up of 3x and 2x. You see, if I multiply those together, I have 6x squared. Now I want to put 2 here, then 2 times 2x is going to give me 4x, and 1 is the other factor of 2. 2 times 1 gives me 2, but 3x times 1 gives me that other 3x I need, and that would be the answer. Being able to do that is great. What is the foolproof method if you are not sure? We go back to our product equaling AC, our sum equaling B. So in this case, the product A times C, 6 times 2 is 12, and the sum is 7. Quick check, you can try 12 and 1, 6 and 2, but most of you have probably already realized 3 by 4 equals 12, and 3 plus 4 equals 7. Now here's the sneaky little trick we can pull. Rather than having to decompose the middle term into 3x and 4x, because what I've found is that when we have negatives involved, students make mistakes. We just keep 6, the coefficient of the x squared term, we keep it in both brackets. I go 6x and I go 6x again. That enables me to just write the plus 3 and the plus 4 in the two brackets. Now, of course, we know when we expand this, I'm going to have 36x squared instead of 6x squared. I've got an extra factor of 6. So all we do is say, well, we know we've got an extra one for now. I'm going to divide by that. Then if we simplify each of those brackets up the top, they each have a common factor in this case. So the first one I could write as 3 multiplied by 2x plus 1. And the second one, you can see they're both even, 6 and 4, so I could take out a common factor of 2, and I'd be left with 3x plus 2. This is all divided by 6, but here's the beauty. We knew we'd include an extra factor of 6. It will now cancel. 2 multiplied by 3 is 6. 6 divided by 6 is 1. So they've cancelled out nicely, and we've got the factorized form of the quadratic, which is 2x plus 1, 3x plus 2. I've got some more videos on that. I'm happy to make some more or sit down and go through it with you step by step carefully. Or if you've been used to doing another method, like perhaps you use the cross method and you've gone 3x and 2x here, and what are the factors of 2? Well, I could have 2 and 1 here, and you go 3 by 1 is that, and 2 by 2 is 4, so I've got 3 plus 4 is 7, that's good, and then you bracket them up that way. And that tells you that you've got 3x plus 2, 2x plus 1. That's fine with me as well. If you want to just stick with decomposition, if you want to write the second line, once you've identified 3 and 4, if you want to write it as 6x squared plus 3x plus 4x plus 2, factorise in pairs, you can. Remember, this is one that I think is fraught with the most danger, because if there's a minus sign there, we run into trouble. We don't follow our rules as carefully as we should. But this would still work, wouldn't it? 3x outside of, would work if I wrote the right number. 3x times 2 would give me 6x squared plus 1. That's going to be 2x plus 1. The second bracket has 2 as a common factor. The remaining factor is also 2x plus 1. So now I've got two terms with 2x plus 1 as a common factor. And then I can write the remaining factors, 3x plus 2, inside brackets. Any which way you want to do it, you are going to get to the right answer. Your job is to pick the method that you find the easiest. Practice it to make sure that you don't mess it up. Happy to do a lot of practice on those over the next couple of years. Well done surviving your first week. Let's look forward to a good week too. Cheers, guys.